Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Jackson on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harrington. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-9.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Scott, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Leopard.
From the gun, Jackson. He may try and run for this. And the ball is knocked out, and the Dolphins have got it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
This is Gordon on the dump off. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now it's Luck. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Luck. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, it's Scott, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room and pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Parker, the intended target. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, you're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Scott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is indeed good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
622.
Play action, it's locked. He's going to look deep down the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Love. And it's caught by Parker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a play fake, and it's locked. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Jackson now, escaping the pressure right. And some room to work. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run on 1st down. Scott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Detroit. Here we go now. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Ebron caught left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 319.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Throw left side, complete to Scott. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20.
Hey, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A huge play that time for the Colts. 56 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Lamar Jackson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Colts are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the young men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Dolphins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Love. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Locke. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Harrington. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one is right down Broadway. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because...
That will be brought down by the Colts.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll fake it. Now Love. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Off of play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Dolphins on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Luck. Flushed out right. He's going to now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw is Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Luck. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing
under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Willie Henry in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run with Scott. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Minkah Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long, looking for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Good one, able to haul it in. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Luck now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To the air again. Locke. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Locke. Going deep here for Parker. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Parker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. On the right side, open is Gesicki. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Luck throwing again. And this is caught. It's Parker. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable players because...
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Luck on 1st down. Dancing to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He finds an opening past the 40. And a cutback, right sideline. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 67 yards on the ground. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
They go play action now. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him. An incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And there he goes again. The 30, 20. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Locke. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up in the plaza and hopefully they can correct him.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott, nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. On 2nd down, Scott, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at about the 31. Parker unable to get that one. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Now let's go. Blue line.
On 2nd down now, Scott, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup. They go again with Scott. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st down, Scott. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Indianapolis, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.